Hi, we are Group 20, and the company that we have chosen to explore in depth is Tesla. Tesla was established in 2003 in San Carlos in California. Tesla is the world's first commercially successful purely electric car manufacturer. It continually commits to product innovation and technological improvements to enhance the competitive capacity of products. Tesla initially brought to the market the Roadster, with the aim of penetrating the electric car market and demonstrating that electric vehicles can be upmarket and high performance, appealing to the higher end consumer in the premium luxury car market. However, through continuous research and development, efforts and focus of innovation, the company has revolutionized the use of sustainable energy by offering increasingly more affordable options. Tesla has innovated in the conventional perception of modern automotive vehicle and has distributed the industry to an extent to which has accelerated the growth, development, and subsequent adoption of electric vehicles. The company has achieved consistent revenue growth, especially through 2020, when it broke through the automotive market to become the highest performing automaker regarding sales. Total return, long-term value for its shareholders. Tesla's mission to accelerate the advent of sustainable transport by bringing compelling mass market electric cars to the market as soon as possible. Looking at this mission, the firm intends to create value by producing sustainable products that address issues of global warming and depletion of fuel resources, produce and sell products that are accessible to mass markets, are cheap enough, innovate as soon as possible, and try to address sustainability issues now versus in the future. Tesla also tries to capture value by becoming the first mover, as well as build competencies of product against fuel-based car through continuous innovation. The combined impact of the aforementioned factors has consequently ascended the company's value, now making Tesla's a growth company and treasured assets for its stakeholder. Their current stock value as its $618.71 billion, making the company as the fifth most valuable company in the Nasdaq Stock Exchange. I will start the presentation by exploring the process of innovation at Tesla, specifically focusing on how the search, select, capture, and implement phase of innovation are executed. Harry will then guide you through the organization of innovation from an individual to a broader organizational climate level, looking specifically at the organization of innovation and how the company and Elon Musk utilize different processes to instill a team environment, climate, and organizational culture with encourages and promotes heightened innovation throughout Tesla and their employees worldwide. Strategies of innovation will then be addressed by Kirsty, who will carry out an in-depth analysis of the theory of dynamic capabilities with a discussion on how Tesla has used this to their advantage within a mature and developed industry. Following this, Jennifer will uncover Tesla's source of innovation, investigating how knowledge push and need pool impact innovations, and also exploring the applicability of disruptive innovation to the company. Finally, Kevin will look at how Tesla captures the business value of innovation through knowledge generation and sharing to enhance the growth of innovation ideas. Key concepts and frameworks will be discussed throughout each section of this presentation before applying them directly to the chosen company, which is Tesla. We have also chosen these topics as we feel they provide a comprehensive view of not only how Tesla has become one of the most innovative companies in the world today, but how they can continue to innovate to ensure future growth, survival, and success. The process of innovation. Innovation is not just a single event, and that one crazy eureka moment is hard to come by and very rarely happens. Innovation involves combination, so it's much more about putting the right ideas into place and to solve the issue for the business and organization, and less about coming up with that big idea. That's a process and it's not a moment. Following the generic framework for the process of innovation, there are four main steps. You have search, select, implement, and capture. There are some subcategories that come under these four stages. First of all, identifying market opportunities. Following an analysis of trends, customer needs, and building up competencies, the innovation process will initially show how future offerings must be designed to create new markets. You must develop ideas. The innovation process with new ideas for products, services, and businesses models are generated by applying creativity, techniques, and inspirations. You've got marketing ideas. In pitching, management concepts have to be put into the test of time, and this encourages the development and maturation of the best ideas. Rapid prototyping. Prototypes increase the speed in development and minimize the risk of errors. Consumer-oriented markets test, iterative development loops contribute to a fast optimization of the innovation process. And the innovation culture. Team members are trained as innovative advisors. They learn to apply the innovation methods and pass their know-how on. The innovation process supports the establishment and enterprise-wide innovation culture. Within innovation labs, agile innovation process are used to enable employers or employees to react quickly to discovery and development. For the first stage, we put two stages together here. Search and select are very similar in certain ways. So few companies have attracted as much content and high regard as Tesla, with Tesla launching their new product in the last few years, the Cybertruck. Opinions were very broad and varied in this area. Critics see it as a further evidence that Elon Musk is out of touch and he's doomed to fail, while supporters of Tesla think it's a revelation and groundbreaking within the market. The numbers can speak for themselves. Tesla received 200,000 orders within the first month of the launch of the Cybertruck. Compare that to the most sold car in 2018, the Ford 150, sold 1 million vehicles in 12 months. So the comparison, a lot of people enjoyed. Tesla built partnership with other companies such as Panasonic, Daimler, and Toyota. Through cooperation with these companies and some of their R&D teams, Tesla have been extremely successful within with the open innovation approach with their products and technology. On the other hand, through this process innovation, Tesla gains more resources from outside the company, creating a greater possibility of bringing new ideas into Tesla and extending their product life. Tesla identified gaps within the market. They offered a higher quality of product and cut out some of the major issues from other electric vehicles. Their lithium-ion batteries last 3 times longer than their competitors. They also developed the fastest DC rapid charging station, where you can get 50% charge for your car in 20 minutes, one of the biggest issues facing electric cars today. The implement stage, we go back to look at the Cybertruck. And a lot of people speak in the market that it's not about making money for Tesla. It was solely a marketing strategy. They were about getting the attention and focus onto Tesla and highlighting that they're one of the most innovative companies, specifically for the purpose of building Tesla's ability to win support from stakeholders. Without following the exact process of the implementation stage of the 4-stage process, Tesla are implementing various innovations with a different approach than most generic companies. Tesla builds cars by developing softwares on a unique hardware system, very similar to what you would compare an Apple doing with their phones, or their Macs, or Microsoft doing with computers. But they can update as a phone would update. The software in the car can develop every 2 or 3 weeks, every month, whenever they decide to update. Whereas if you buy a car now, you're in for the long run. You won't get an update or an upgrade unless you go and get these parts in a garage. It also takes away the price of expensive oil change, replacing parts, and cutting out the cost of the long run. Over the long term, Tesla is a much cheaper and viable option. Tesla's battery-powered vehicles are significantly simpler than their internal combustion competitors. If you look at it, Tesla have anywhere from 20 to 40 pieces of their engine in comparison to internal combustion engines of over 2,000 pieces. This simplicity dramatically reduces the consumer total cost of ownership. Tesla has recently acquired battery manufacturing companies and will incorporate new kinds of battery-related technologies within their vehicles at Tesla, which could further reduce the cost of ownership. For capture, it can take as many as 3,000 ideas to produce one commercially viable product or service. Therefore, it's critical to keep moving forward. And if you fail, spend little time and get on to the next possible innovation, or learn from these possible mistakes. However big, small, nimble, or conventional, every company that hopes to innovate must endure its share of failures, and Tesla is no exception to that. Elon Musk is a poster boy for failure at this stage of the innovation process. His smashing success over the last few years with Tesla and SpaceX have been everywhere. And he's had his fair share of failures, and he probably will have a lot more in years to come. Failure is good though, or rather it can be good if you react in the right way. Thomas Edison once put, "I haven't failed, I've just found 10,000 ways that don't work." There have been various issues within Tesla, such as their transmission failures, their batteries not lasting the desired length, not hitting their 0 to 60 mile per hour target in under 4 seconds. And Elon Musk said in 2016 that they wanted an autopilot system in by 2020, 2021, and yet we haven't seen this. In every case, though, the company learned what didn't work, doubled down on what did work, and stepped forward.
When analysing the organisation of innovation within Tesla, various considerations must be taken regarding the level that this innovation takes place. This has been categorised into 3 levels: the individual level, the collective level, and the climate level. While at first glance, Tesla's innovation appears to occur predominantly at the individual level, it is important to explore both the collective and climate levels, also to determine how innovation is organized within Tesla. Beginning with the individual level, Tesla's CEO, Elon Musk, is a perfect example of how leadership can produce and promote innovation within an organization. CEOs of organizations hold a responsibility over the management of their organization's innovations and the processes for creating and maintaining these innovations. Musk also holds a position of product architect within Tesla and has been quoted to have a relentless focus on innovation, which is demonstrated through his leadership and how he conducts himself in the organization. Musk's leadership style can be labeled as transformational, meeting all the criteria of being charismatic, intellectually stimulating, and inspirational to Tesla employees and followers to commit to Tesla's shared vision to create the most compelling car company of the 21st century by driving the world's transition to electric vehicles. This vision, paired with Musk's transformational leadership style, is a driving force for Tesla's continuous innovation and inspiring employees towards this goal. Following on from the individual level, we find the collective level, which refers to how innovation is generated within teams and processes. While Elon Musk is the driving force behind the majority of actions and decisions for Tesla, he recognizes the importance of teams and collaboration between members when striving to innovate. Tesla's executive team is made up of 8 members, including Musk as depicted on the screen. Each member plays a significant role in contributing to Tesla's innovations, specializing in different aspects and areas of the organization. In order to innovate effectively and accurately, organizations must have a collective goal which they strive towards. For Tesla, this is seen in their slogan, to accelerate the advent of sustainable transport. In order to achieve this, there are various requirements for employees which Tesla ensures to cover. Technology plays a significant role in achieving this goal, with Tesla providing elite-level technology with the freedom to explore and exercise productivity freely to maximize innovation. Something which is needed throughout all levels of the organization, however, is significant levels of collaboration, which is one of the key points found in Tesla job requirements, as seen on this slide. Requesting these traits from entry-level to senior management and executive members allows for Tesla to instill collaboration in all members of the organization to maximize innovation throughout. Tesla's concise and inspiring goal and collaborative climate, principled leadership from Musk are all factors highlighted by Isaacson and Tidd for establishing innovation at the collective level and further exemplify how Tesla organizes innovation throughout the organization. The third level here is the climate level, which refers to the various factors and atmosphere within Tesla which promote or detract innovation within the organization. In this sense, climate can be defined as practices and norms which encourage innovation and the exploration and development of new ideas and processes that are supported by an organization, which in this case is Tesla. This was recently prominent during an interview with Elon Musk at the Air Warfare Symposium in 2020, where Musk stated that there is an incentive structure in place which rewards innovation and those who aim to innovate, and acknowledges the possibility and occurrences of mistakes by reducing the punishments associated with these. Musk also addresses that those who actively avoid innovating are met with stern consequences and often fired. This is a prime example of how innovation occurs at the climate level of Tesla by instilling practices and norms which encourage innovation throughout the organization. And finally, Tesla Motors ensure that innovation is praised and encouraged throughout the organization by infusing an innovation-driven culture, instilling an innovation problem-solving organizational culture, and clearly defined goals, promotes innovation and ensures that employees have a profound understanding of what they're aiming to achieve and striving for. Tesla have achieved this by solidifying their key organizational cultural traits, which are to move fast, to do the impossible, to constantly innovate, reason from first principles, think like owners, and we are all in. From this analysis, it can be seen that innovation occurs through all levels of organization in Tesla. Elon Musk undoubtedly portrays the individual level as the epitome of innovation leadership, holding various key characteristics of innovation leaders, and ultimately plays a significant role in all 3 levels of organization of innovation in Tesla, which then transpires into Tesla's strategies for innovation.
In order to carry out successful innovation within any organization, strategies for innovation are crucial for ensuring purpose, focus, and a sense of direction. Considered as one of the most important areas of innovation strategy, dynamic capabilities are necessary for long-term growth and success. This paradigm will be explored as both academics and those working within businesses alike insist that it is key to firms developing new, unique offerings and business models in response to disruptive change. The Dynamic Capabilities Framework was crafted to help managers understand how firms can profit when uncertainty is ubiquitous. In order to address the deep ambiguity generated by innovation and the associated dynamic competition, strong dynamic capabilities are necessary within companies in order to allow for organizational agility. This framework calls on managers to anticipate and make sense of emerging shifts in the business environment, as well as rapidly seize potential opportunities to transform their organizations and maintain what Thies calls environmental fitness. If firms are to sustain themselves in the long term, they must fall into the three primary clusters that contribute towards strong dynamic capabilities, which are sensing unknown futures, seizing opportunities to capture value, and transforming businesses continually. These strong capabilities are not heavily reliant on routines or rules, as this slows down change, and so much like with the incrementalist approach to innovation, dynamic capabilities rely on organizations changing direction through the presentation of new information. However, similarly to the rationalist approach, managerial decisions can also determine how enterprises create, shape, and deploy capabilities. So when all of this comes together and succeeds, it results in captured value such as innovative arrangements of resources backed by profitability. Peter Thiel, a Silicon Valley entrepreneur, discussed how this can be very difficult to create new innovations from a combination of resources, as he believes it's rarely done nowadays. However, when alluding to Elon Musk and Tesla, Thiel considered it as a sort of business form that when people can pull off is extremely valuable. So when considering Tesla's strategies for innovation, it's first necessary to assess the environment within which the company operates. The automotive industry has long been considered mature, with questions surrounding key technologies such as the internal combustion engine settled over a century ago. However, there are now multiple sources of ambiguity which envelop the industry and its potential evolution. Climate change is one of the most pressing issues facing all societies across the globe today, and whilst this presents challenges for most industries, particular attention can be paid to the automotive sector as vehicle emissions are a major contributor to the climate crisis. Alternative and renewable energy sources are a solution to this problem. However, due to complacency in having significant sunk costs within existing technologies, entrenched industry incumbents face little incentive to alter their operations. Whilst General Motors did attempt to design and manufacture an electric vehicle in 1996, commercialization efforts were abandoned and the vehicles were all crushed. It therefore comes as a surprise that within an industry that is typically unkind to new entrants, Tesla has recently become the most valuable automotive manufacturer in North America through market capitalization. It can be argued that this is almost entirely owed to the dynamic capabilities of the organization, which at less than 2 decades old is already targeting the 4 primary sources of change within the industry, including electric vehicles, autonomous vehicles, connected cars, and personal mobility services. With 85% of customers believing in the breakthrough of autonomous driving, and the rise of car sharing predicted to drop vehicle sales by 24% in the next 4 years, these are 2 prime areas of innovation to strategize towards. So, pursuing innovation leadership, Elon Musk and the rest of the executive management team at Tesla have constantly pushed the company into the unknown with moves such as their strategic joint venture with Panasonic, which has seen them become the largest producer of lithium-ion battery packs, which are used in all their models. However, by identifying additional technological paths which are viable and attractive strategic alternatives available to Tesla, the company's R&D is heavily investing in areas which traditional car manufacturers are slow to embrace, demonstrating strong dynamic capabilities. This is evident in the introduction of Tesla's new Level 5 self-driving hardware, as well as the Tesla Network car sharing initiative, with the former seeing every new production vehicle featuring hardware ready for full self-driving capabilities, and the latter taking form in an app which can grant vehicle access to friends, family, and even rental services. Through constantly sensing the ever-changing business environment, pursuing technological innovation, and honing these all to user needs, Tesla is not only forging its own path within the automotive production and manufacturing industry, but encouraging the rest of this historically mature industry to look towards investing in the future too.
Despite its maturity, the automotive industry is not immune to change, as can be seen by the development of new technologies, autonomous driverless cars, and strong regulatory pressures surrounding emissions. However, Tesla's shown that a Silicon Valley startup, which brings an entirely new way of viewing an industry, can disrupt the status quo in even the most established industries. So where does Tesla's innovation come from? Well, as Harry previously mentioned, the company's organisational culture encourages employees to be constantly innovating and creates an environment that allows ideas to flourish. However, sources of innovation can come from a variety of places and don't work in isolation, but instead often work together. Knowledge push are innovation opportunities from the result of knowledge production, typically the output of R&D. You begin with knowledge and then find a use for it in a product to meet user needs. Tesla invests heavily in R&D, and one example of this is their long-standing partnership with pioneering battery researchers at Dalhousie University, specialising in lithium-ion battery development. Tesla recognises that they cannot succeed alone and has formed such an alliance to harness the knowledge of experts, with the goal of creating lower-cost batteries that last longer and charge faster. Investing in this line of research has generated substantial advancements in battery innovations used in Tesla's models, which are continuously reducing the cost of ownership, as can be seen in their Model 3. Tesla's roots in Silicon Valley and their background in engineering have revolutionised the industry ideals. Tesla often follows processes similar to that of a tech company, improving and updating its car's software functionality every few weeks. Translating ideas from one background into that of the automotive industry has allowed the company to use recombinant innovation to its advantage by reimagining and innovating manufacturing processes long established by traditional companies within the industry. However, knowledge push alone is not enough for innovations to arise. They must also have some form of demand if they are to succeed. Need pull involves first understanding the needs of a market and then finding ways to meet those needs. Tesla saw the shifting societal desire to address sustainability issues and the rising fuel prices as an opportunity to create product innovations. Climate change and sustainability challenges provide an opportunity for innovation as governments are increasingly compelled to provide incentives to the clean energy industry. California regulations for lower emissions and cleaner vehicles has been consistently resisted by the industry, but Tesla's innovative approach to electric vehicle manufacturing, heavy investments in R&D, and ambition to meet the globally recognised sustainability challenges has granted them favourable treatment from the Californian government, who's invested and supported Tesla's mission. However, it's not just broader societal needs that have been a source of innovation for the company. Musk saw the inefficiencies in current offerings and the unmet market needs for environmentally conscious consumers looking for a high-performing electric vehicle that didn't compromise on style or performance. But first they had to change people's ideas about electric cars. To do this, they targeted the high-end premium car market by creating a stylish, high-performance model. They recognised that the most efficient way to create change is with a consumer-facing, product-focused approach, and that people are drawn to better products, not necessarily to intangible environmental benefits. By learning from the mistakes of previous electric vehicle companies, initially selling to the wealthy allowed the company to scale up operations, learn by doing, and ultimately begin to reduce cost to grow volume and reach a broader customer base. It is at this stage that some scholars argue Tesla became a true disruptor to the market leaders. So it's no question that Tesla is a highly innovative company, but are they really disruptive? The theory of disruptive innovation describes how new entrants can eventually overrun established players by offering a product that is cheaper but initially inferior to those offered by mature incumbents. The disruptor systematically improves its performance until they eventually meet the needs of mainstream consumers. Although some scholars argue that Tesla is fundamentally disruptive, others suggest that it fails to follow this model. Not only did Tesla enter the high end of the market with the Tesla Roadster, competing with luxury brands such as Lamborghini, but it also competed on performance attributes such as acceleration. Whilst this theory has since been revised, Christensen acknowledges that Tesla are focused on creating new value for customers and are aggressively pursuing both market-creating and sustaining innovations. While some of this innovation creates massive disturbance in the marketplace, it's not disruption from the bottom in the classic sense of disruptive innovation, suggesting that whilst undeniably innovative, Tesla may not necessarily qualify as a disruptive innovator. Therefore, whilst having no prior knowledge of car manufacturing and initially targeting a niche group of environmentally conscious, higher-end consumers, Tesla has effectively learned through experience and is now tackling the broader societal need to find more sustainable sources of energy through their wealth of knowledge and innovation-centred approach to design. In the next section, Cavan will approach in more detail how networks aid Tesla's mission to accelerate the world's transition to sustainable energy through knowledge sharing.
So how did Tesla capture the business value of innovation? In this section, I will discuss the value chain of Tesla that creates and captures business value, how Tesla acquire knowledge, how they manage this knowledge and appropriately distribute it throughout the organisation, and how they capture value from their intellectual property. So, to capture value in the long term in a constantly developing and competitive marketplace, Tesla create value through its integrator innovation approach. This is mainly achieved through vertical integration throughout the value chain, where Tesla make operations efficient and cost-effective through acquiring organisations that closely align with its mission. This helps to gain more control over product quality, reduce its dependence on suppliers, and reduce operations and manufacturing costs, all of which are integral to capturing business value. So, how did Tesla generate and acquire knowledge? Knowledge generation and acquisition is a fundamental focus and overarching factor in Tesla's market growth and subsequent success. The two key methods of knowledge acquisition for Tesla is experimentation and acquisition. Through research and development and experimentation, Tesla acquire valuable and insightful knowledge that leads to improving its existing processes where its efficiency can be increased and costs reduced. This allows them to develop new products and services and expand its market share while facilitating organisational growth. As mentioned in the value chain, Tesla also acquire external companies to absorb knowledge, skills, resources and operational capabilities, and this also helps diversify the company's portfolio. Tesla scan its internal and external environments for areas within the company that can be improved and acquire organisations that have the operational capabilities to suffice these activities. So how did Tesla manage knowledge? Tesla used data in the form of raw observations, words and numbers for various uses that capture value in the long term for the company. This information is considered as tacit knowledge and is context specific and difficult to articulate. On average, a Tesla car produces between 2 and 5 terabytes of data every week. This data comes in the form of autonomous driving data, roadmap and traffic data. All this information is uploaded to the Tesla network to capture value by creating other applications, improving research and development, vehicle performance and ultimately customer satisfaction. Data is then transferred into information and explicit knowledge that can be correctly articulated for formal use. So once data is transferred into information that can be organised and grouped into some patterns, this information is processed for a range of analysis to identify trends in vehicle usage, manufacturing processes and market trends. This information is of great business value and aids them in making informed decisions to better the efficiency and subsequent growth of the business. This information is then transferred into explicit knowledge. Tesla take information that has been contextualised and give it meaning and transforms it into knowledge. This makes this information relevant for its desired purposes and easy to contextualise and operationalise for its end users. Tesla use knowledge to train its staff appropriately, make comparisons between its operations and create new relationships and partnerships with external organisations. Knowledge is also utilised to frame expertise, experience and values and insights. So intellectual property. How does Tesla capture the value of intellectual property? So one of the key and most valuable intangible resources Tesla possess is its patents. Tesla take a unique and innovational approach to capturing the business value of its patents. The company have open sourced its patents for external parties to utilise to develop the electric automotive market and divert potential business to their market segments. Through open sourcing its intangible intellectual property and a bargaining-like strategy, Tesla can capture its business value by developing the automotive market, allowing external parties to advance and develop their technology, which can be applied and implemented in their own products in the future. So, to conclude this section of analysis, it is evident that Tesla can capture the business value of innovation through their innovational processes employed. So the company generates, acquires and manages its knowledge effectively and distributes this knowledge throughout the organisation in an appropriate manner. Tesla take an innovational approach to capturing value for its intellectual property and benefits greatly from the methods employed.
In recent years, the company's innovative success has been demonstrated by developing and introducing the lithium-ion battery, as well as their supercharging stations which charge 50% of the car in only 20 minutes, something that proves to be a major advantage over their competitors, and is one of the many reasons why Tesla have become the highest performing automaker regarding sales in 2020. Investing heavily in R&D and fostering a culture of constant innovation has allowed the company to stay ahead of rivals in this competitive industry. Viewing the automotive industry in a completely new light has allowed Tesla to use their knowledge to revolutionize the manufacturing process and customer experience with their Silicon Valley roots and innovative approach towards product design, sending shockwaves through some of the biggest players in the automotive industry. They've had their fair share of failures, however, it's their reaction that leaves them ahead of the rest. Failure is good, or rather it can be good if you react to it in the right way, using the knowledge you gain to make your next attempt at the goal more effective. As Thomas Edison put it, I haven't failed, I've just found 10,000 ways that don't work. Throughout our analysis, we can see how different concepts have interacted with each other. Tesla's mission is to accelerate the world's transition to sustainable energy and has built its business model around this core ideal. Climate change and sustainability challenges have been a source of innovation for Tesla, but responding to these global issues also forms part of its strategic core and requires strong dynamic capabilities. Furthermore, Harry's section on the organisation of innovation has clear linkages with the sources of innovation that Jennifer covered. This is demonstrated in that fostering an organisational climate not only encourages innovation but depends upon it for survival, as well as generating new and innovative ideas internally, which can act as a rich source of innovation. Distinct linkages can be found within the content of Jennifer's Sources of Innovation section and Cavan's Capturing the Business Value section, where Tesla's knowledge push can be directly linked to how they acquire knowledge through both experimentation and acquisition. This is also evident through their knowledge management, strenuous R&D activities, and acquisition of external organisations. Existing in an industry and market which relies heavily on technological advancements and knowledge, how Tesla generate and acquire information is evident in their knowledge push sources of innovation. When considering what Lewis and Kirsty have discussed, we can understand that Tesla's dynamic capabilities are also inextricably tied to their process of innovation, as the organisation's aims of transforming the automotive industry with technological advancements require them to be agile and sensitive towards emerging trends in order to successfully implement the model of the innovation process. This means that the strategies of innovation that Tesla follow, such as dynamic capabilities and innovation leadership, work symbiotically with the company processes of innovation, as both require each other to aid in reaching Tesla's goals of forcing this mature industry to evolve through introducing products such as the lithium-ion battery, the Tesla network, and Level 5 self-driving software. Some lessons we have taken from our analysis is the need to foster an innovative environment and encourage rapid innovation. Other companies could follow Tesla's lead and not be afraid to fail and fail fast in order to move on to the next innovative idea. This not only ensures products are taken to market quicker than competitors, but ensures complex and ever-changing consumer needs are met. In recent years, Tesla has become a leader in failing and learning fast, as well as adapting their products to the requirements of the current market needs. Through collaboration with other organisations such as Panasonic, Daimler AG, Toyota, the company is able to learn, develop, and enhance its product offerings. Through Lewis's analysis of Tesla's processes of innovation, areas of potential improvements which Tesla can capitalise on for the future were found. Our recommendation is for Tesla to seek further collaborations with other players within the market, allowing for the company to expand into new markets whilst generating more innovative products such as the Cybertruck, which will continue to build their ever-growing brand presence and reputation as a company which actively strives for innovation throughout a multitude of markets and industries. Continuously being in the top 15 most innovative companies worldwide, Tesla's potential to expand and offer more innovative products in the future could grow significantly depending on potential collaborations, further boosting the Tesla brand, but also their revenue and stock price. To conclude, it can be argued that all aspects of innovation that have been discussed here today are crucial in Tesla's accomplishments, as each works harmoniously together to create the position of success which the organisation sees today. Without one concept, the others would not perform as strongly as they currently do, as each relies heavily on one another in order to foster the appropriate environment for innovation to flourish.